On April 26th, Apple made a change to its iOS software, and anyone using an iPhone began to see this, the app tracking transparency prompt. Apple began requiring apps to give users a choice. Ask them not to track you, or allow them to track you across other apps and websites. Now, months later, that one software tweak is having a huge impact on e-commerce. And while the change gave Apple users more control over their data, it may mean that you'll be paying more for stuff, whether you use Apple products or not. Here's why. First, here's a number for you, 84%. Even though apps have a chance to explain why they want to track your activity, users are asking apps not to track them about 84% of the time now that they have the option to opt out, according to app analytics provider Flurry. And that has jolted big tech platforms like Facebook and Snapchat and Bumble, companies that make money by serving you targeted ads. In recent earnings calls, tech executives have blamed Apple for a slowdown in revenue growth.
Our advertising business was disrupted by changes to iOS ad tracking.
Overall, if it wasn't for Apple's iOS 14 changes, we would have seen positive quarter-over-quarter revenue growth.
In a statement, Apple said a user's data belongs to them, and they should get to decide whether to share their data and with whom. Okay, so multi-billion-dollar companies are complaining about revenue. Why does any of this matter for you? We'll get to how the change is impacting your wallet in a minute. But first, you have to understand how it's impacting millions of small businesses that rely on social media advertising to reach customers.
The biggest impact is because of how sweeping the change was and how suddenly it took place.
As a principal at True Ventures, Fiona O'Donnell McCarthy invests in early-stage startups and helps get them off the ground. She says a lot of the CEOs she's in touch with have seen their digital marketing costs soar since they can't target customers as easily.
So what's happening across the board is that advertising is less precise. Because customers are opting out of sharing data across apps, it's more difficult to have a complete picture of someone's behavior or preferences.
How much more are these businesses, these advertisers, paying to reach customers?
We're seeing companies spend 30 to 100% more in order to acquire a customer online.
Not only are social media ads less effective right now, but business owners like the founder of consumer warranty startup Upsy say they've also gotten a lot more expensive.
We've seen a jump on Facebook of 135% just from a CPM standpoint. So it has gotten insanely expensive to advertise on places like Facebook.
The owner of Belmanili Jewelry says her ad prices are 8 to 10 times more expensive, even though the ads themselves aren't as effective because she can't easily target customers who might want her product.
My jewelry ad might now show up in front of, some 50-year-old man's feed, and 50-year-old men don't buy my things. So that's been the big difference.
What's more, the privacy change has made it harder for companies to know if their ads are even working, since it's become harder for social media companies to track what you buy after you see an ad. So what does all of this mean for you, the consumer? Well, if you're an iPhone user, of course you have more control over your data. But even if you're not, this all still applies to you. First, you might start paying more for products. Some businesses say they're raising prices to help offset higher marketing costs. Sports nutrition company Ath Sports told me it had to raise prices 5 to 10% and boost the price of standard shipping from $5 to $8. And clothing company Sozi says that in addition to supply chain constraints, marketing costs are making it more urgent for them to do things like reduce their welcome offer, reduce rewards points, and charge more for return shipping. Secondly, mobile ad executives say that new apps that would have been free may start charging you, since they're looking for alternative ways to make money. And third, you may notice that the ads you're used to seeing in your social media feeds and in real life look a little different. On your devices, if you opt out of tracking, you may start seeing ads that seem out of left field. And in real life, you'll notice tech-savvy brands appearing in totally unexpected old-school places. Think billboards and catalogs and even radio ads.
We've all felt pressured into buying a store's overpriced electronics warranty.
You're going to hear more and more digitally native brands on the radio. You're going to see more companies start podcasts and blogs. You're going to see more companies focus on the inherent network effects that are part of their physical or digital product. And that's going to be required in order to scale.
Meanwhile, those big tech companies say they're currently working on developing tools that will let advertisers serve you personalized ads without getting your personal information. But what those tools look like and how much those ads cost remains to be seen. A lot of the business owners I talked to for this story say they appreciate privacy concerns and understand the need to strike a balance. Data can help companies find consumers, but it can also help consumers find products that we love. But how much our data is worth and how much we're willing to share is a negotiating process that has only just begun. Now I'm curious where you stand on the privacy issue. Are you willing to allow apps to track your activity online, or do you prefer to opt out? Let me know why by leaving me a comment. And if you want to know more about how tracking works, check out the links below for videos from my colleague WSJ tech columnist Joanna Stern. And last but not least, if you found this video informative, please hit subscribe so you can join me as I cover more news that's impacting our lives. See you next time.